Hi and welcome back to the channel. So tonight we are going to be start building a floating bed. Now this is our bench seat at the front of the van. We need it to extend, we need it to be accessible underneath, all at the same time. But I don't want any legs hanging off this extension. I don't want any structures underneath. I want it to be self-supporting like a floating bed. So let's see how we get on. Well, it's bonfire night, so everybody's letting off the fireworks and enjoying themselves, and I'm in the van because it's day 43. We count down, we're on day 43. I come to try and do a little bit last night and I was too tired, so I knocked it on the head. I took some doors off. So we took the cupboard doors off this locker. If you remember, we're going to drop this and we're going to shorten it by around about 2 inch, 50 mil, 50, 60 mil. And then we're going to have a curtain that will pull across here and it'll look all neat. So still waiting for parts to arrive for the bikes, but that bit we'll put on hold. Tonight, Matthew, we're going to take this out. This needs modified. This is going to be the pull-out bed, so it's time to strip it out and get things done. Right, we are now in a position where we can start building it back up, putting some supports in, strengthening this end, strengthening the back, and then we can have a look at actually making the pull-out section. Once we've got all this supported, we need to know the measurement between the back and the front, because this is the important part. The metal frame that we're going to build needs to be fabricated, ready for our trial run. So I need that information now so I can go off and make it ready to go back in. Well, we got quite a bit done last night. I should maybe show you what we actually did do. So we've put the support in on this corner, same on that side, see the front panel. So we've added all the support in. Now this bar here that runs along the front, we need to set the height of that. So I've mocked up a frame. This is the frame here. That's going to be the section that will lift up and allow us access in the bottom. But that frame will also carry the pull-out bed. Doing them couple of little jobs will allow us then to make the actual drawer that pulls out and lifts up. So drawer, is it a drawer? Leaf, I don't know what you call it. Lid. We'll go with lid. So we've gone and clamped the lid into place. That's allowed us to set this bar at the right height. So I've put 2 marks under this side and that one over there, so we can take all this apart now and have a look at where the marks are and measure up and cut. Let's see. Right, I'll put that at 9 inch. Okay, let's see how this fits in. Perfect. Well, it's starting to take shape. I know this looks a bit sketchy around here, but when it's finished it will all be flush. I've left a little gap at the back for the hinge, so when we put the hinge in, this will push to the front. It'll look a lot tidier, and then we'll have a panel that'll run right along the front as well. Right, one step closer. That's finally fixed in place. I'm quite happy now to start planning and measuring for the internals, the piece that is gonna pull out. 41 days. 41 days, 21 hours and 57 minutes till we head off. It feels like I'm going to use all them days. I have got the van in such a state at the minute. You don't realise how long all these little bits take. I measure a piece, I go and cut it, I bring it back, I measure it up, offer it up, and sometimes it'll need a trim, sometimes it won't. Then I've got to go and cut another 3. So by the time I've done one part, it's an hour and a half, and then videoing it adds a lot more time to the job. So this is why I'm skipping through quite quickly. I do need to get this job done. We'll try and spend a little bit more time on the next section, but the frame is now built. I'm actually sat on it now. It is sturdy enough. It's going to hold what I want it to hold. So we have a decent gap there on the back, and then a decent gap there on the sides. So we've just been setting things up, making sure all the gaps are right, and checking the spacings for the lats. So we're going to have a couple of clashes. That's a fixed one, that's a miss one, that's a fixed one. So because that one's fixed, I'm going to recess these hinges so we get the same finish all the way through, and they'll all look level. Well, they'll all be level. So we have the locked door sliders installed now. Literally just pull that down and slide it out. We won't be sliding out that far, it'll only come plop out there, and that'll be restricted by some timber or something, a stop that'll stop it from overextending, and then it just locks back in place. Got a couple of little bits left, so just with a chisel, just knock them off. That's that, job done. Hinges are set. We now need to make the sliding piece that goes in there, but we've had a bit of a setback. So these are the steels that I was going to use for the support. We started cutting them and setting them, and I tried let me try and put this in a position where we can look at it. So I tried with my stick welder that's under there to tack this on the lowest setting, and this metal is so thin, so lightweight, it just destroyed it. Now I can't get to my brother's place till Sunday. He's busy. He has our welder. It's my welder, but I'll let him have it. He's got the welder. And it's down at his garage, and I just can't get access to it. So I'm going to knock this on the head. I only wanted to make it in steel, in lightweight steel, for that little bit more strength. But in theory, there's not going to be much difference between using timber. We're using this 2x2 from B&Q. I've ratched through, and I've got some with a very, very fine grain, and it's a little bit heavier than some of the other stuff that was available. So I think this will be good enough for what we need it to be, hopefully. So today we're going to cut all that, bolt it all together, and see how it works. Now I'm perfect on that one, and out on that one. What you'll find is these ends, they're just rough cuts, so I always trim mine off. So this is the frame in. I'm just setting it up now for the sliding hinges. So this is how I set my hinges. I don't want this to travel any higher than the top of this piece of wood. So to make sure I get this part on properly, I clamp a piece of wood similar size. I put a little spacer in down there, and that allows me to slide this in and out and fix it at the right place. So what I do first is I put it on an elongated screw, and I push it back 2-3 mils. So that'll give me a little bit of adjustment, because what I don't want is for all this to slide back, catch here before this latches. So I've given myself a little bit of adjustment on the slider. I have put a fixed one in for the pitch, but we can take that out later and change that if we need to. So let's do the other side. So we have the timber clamped in place, and as you can see, it sits nicely up there. So all I need to do is, when I'm screwing it up, I just lift it up to there, and then that will allow me to get the fixing that I want along here. And we know that whatever position this assembly's in, it'll never come above this one here. This is our fixed point. I don't want anything to be above that, so this runner's below that. We use the same method to mount the runner. We brought it a little bit further past because I want a gap behind here for the front panel when it all goes back in. It's just a matter of screwing it up now. Now let's see if that gives us the 12-inch that we're after. Perfect. There's the 1 foot. It's slightly more than we want, but I'm not bothered because that'll just leave a little gap between the cushions, and the sponge will take that up. We're going to have a front piece along here that will support the cushion, stop it sliding off the bed. Perfect. Let's just check that everything's right. I'll put the final screws in. I'm happy with that. And again on this side, if you look, just a little bit below. Perfect. Right, I think we're at the point now where we just need to dry fit it in the van. Make sure that it lifts up and it pulls out if we needed to. And it might be able to do both at the same time. We'll soon find out, won't we? Like a glove. Right, moment of truth. It lifts. And it slides. And it slides and lifts. And it, oh my god. So when it's fully extended, it clashes with the TV. But I doubt we'll ever lift it like this. If we do, it's just to grab something from under here. But hey, that works a treat. And it's rigid. It's strong. What are you looking for? Well, what were you looking for? Here's quality control. Just been in, had a good check, make sure everything's in hand. But couldn't find anything, could you? What was it? What were you looking for over here? What was over here? You're just checking it out. You're checking it out. Come on then, have a look. What do you reckon? Is it good? Everything to plan? It's all good? Here's your new bed, son. What do you reckon?
Cool. How did it work?
See it working? So you just push them 2 levers down, pull it out. That's your new lengthy bed.
Yeah, but when it's not.
No, because I haven't finished yet. It's going to have lots of strength in it. And when your mum wants to get some stuff out from underneath, she can lift that up.
That's good.
There you go.
It is.
And when I'm finished, these little bits that stick out will only stick out maybe 2-3 mil. You'll be able to get your hands on them.
Ooh.
Day 39. 18 hours and 17 minutes left to go until we set off. Right. That is the day that we're on. And we need to now get cracked on with this bench because I want it finished this weekend. I want the bed finished this weekend. I need to get these things done because it's just dragging on and on and on and on. So we're not far off. Let's get stuck in. The last time I built a bench, most of the questions we got were around the dimensions. So to head that off and spend the next 3 months answering questions that can be answered very quickly, I've done this. I've recorded all the dimensions on the frame. So from end to end, lengthwise, it is 1350 millimeters. Width is 515, and that is for the external frame. Now the support underneath, This here, which is 70 by 18mm, is £13.50 again. We've also used a piece there, a little support piece, to give us the distance between the front. That is 44mm wide by 70. Now, for the support that we're going to screw the lats onto, that there is 1138, and we've used a 62 by 38mm CLS from B&Q. All this wood's from B&Q, so it makes life a lot easier. Now for the main frame, this is all 44mm by 44mm, again from B&Q. It is 1233 wide, long, sorry, and it's 472 wide. Now that could vary because if you don't use the same runners, that gap could be different. But I thought I'd just do that to make life a little bit easier for you and for me, because I don't have to spend the next 3 months answering them comments. We need to cut 12 of the lats at 505, and then we're going to need to cut 11 at 472. So these are the lats, and we've left the thickness of a lat on the end, so when we open up the leaf, the lid, it shouldn't catch on the back. So that one there is 505, and this one here is 472. So they should slide past each other, no bother at all. There's going to be round about a 10mm gap, well, I'll have to measure it, but I've got a 5mm spacer there, so it's probably about 6-7mm gap. That's the first 12 screwed. If you have a look, we've hit the back support and then the front support, which still allows this section here to move. So we cut ourselves a spacer that gives us the gap between the lats and the space along the back, and that's so when we open up the door it doesn't foul when we open up the lid it doesn't foul the rest of the setup. That's the first one done. Right, 11 of these to cut now. That will sit there. We are just about to chop these up into the right size. I only need 11 of these, so I'm going to just take what I need from this bundle and leave the rest in situ. First thing we need to do is get rid of all this. So you just rip it off, and the staples need to be pulled out with a set of pliers. They're not hard, look, I'm doing that one-handed. It's finished. Well, I think that looks pretty good. I've kept it back from the edge, just so when we put the front panel on there's a little gap there. But I'm really happy with that. Dimensions from corner to corner are 1448. It sticks out 610. The pitch for these angled fronts is 8.5. The height is 77mm. 395 from the floor to this level, and this front beam is 1358. That should give you all the dimensions you need to fill that area. Well, she's in. I'll show you how easy it is. Look at that. Something's catching on this side. I'm going to have a little look, see what that is, but it'll only be mechanism, probably needs a little bit of oil, or maybe a screw needs to go a little bit further back. Just going to show you a little detail. I hadn't considered that when I screwed these down they would pinch on the bar below, so I've installed some 3mm spacers, some packers, and that's right along the front edge, but only on the ones that screw to the leading edge. I haven't had to do it anywhere else. There still seems to be a decent gap at the back, if you can see that. Yeah, just something to look at. it was getting quite stiff to operate, and I've put the packers in and it's really easy to use now. Evening, 36 days left to go and we're still not finished the bed. We're in the final stages, so I'm going to show you what I've been doing. I had a day off yesterday. We put up the last video, well, the first video in this series, so that went out yesterday. I had a day off. I really did need to just take some time and do nothing. So back into it tonight, and we're doing some of the fancier stuff. So I'm going to show you what we've been up to. We have reused the front panel. We've shaped that. We've taken the offcut and we've made that into our fascia for the sliding part. Showed you that earlier. We've notched that and that's come out really well. I'm really happy with that. That allows us to operate and not jam our fingers, or that works a treat there. So what we're doing now is we're setting it up. We've got it clamped in position. So I'm just going to put a couple of screws in and see how it looks, see how level it looks, and if it's any good, we'll fix it. Right, let's do all this cack-handed, back to front. Well, I think that looks pretty good. So we've added two supports, one each side. This, from this point here to there, is 90mm, and from this corner to this point here is 255, and it's 10mm below the support piece. So the bottom of that, because when it all closes up, that is all finished level. So that there will be below this. So that's what we're looking for, and we've done the same on this side. A couple of trial holes there to fill, but we got it in the end. So when you close it down, you'll see that it all just works perfect. Works a treat. Got a couple of nice handles to mount on the front of the panel now, so we can pull this out and it'll just make it that little bit easier when we do pull it in and out.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. We don't need no weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through.
Well, that brings us to the end of yet another video. Now I hope you like that seat, the modifications that we've done to the seat, making it a wider single bed, giving Riley that little bit more comfort. And the fact that there's no supporting legs under it, that is, for me, one of the biggest advantages of the alteration that we've done. I think it's very restrictive having them feet underneath, because as it is now, we can still shuffle past it, we can still get around it, and it works perfectly. Very happy with how it's turned out. I now need to just apply my attentions to all the other jobs I've got to do. There's such a long list. In fact, I'll show you my list. And there's quite a few jobs on there. We'll probably run through all of them in the next video. But for now, it's time to go and put my feet up and probably have a couple of days off, because this has been hard work, donkey work, a lot of thinking involved, a lot of planning. It's been mentally tiring. So I'm going to have a couple of days to myself. Probably haven't got the luxury of a couple of days, but we'll see how it pans out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you're new here, please click the subscribe button. We're trying to break that 10,000 mark before the end of the year. And if you've got any questions or comments, please stick them below. Anyway, see you again. Take care. Why not head over and check out our new website, www.thecraftyblinders.co.uk. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok and our Facebook group, The Crafty Blinder Van Builds. Thanks for watching.